So in this video, I'm going to tell you the technique, number one technique, to let go of any negative emotion in your entire fucking life. And this technique always works. Stay tuned.
I think we all have to go in there and just trust to it.
So how does that work? How could you even say such a claim? You know, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, how could you say such a claim that you could let go of any negative emotion in the world? That you could overcome any negative emotion in the world? How is that even possible? Well, in fact, it is so simple. Like the process of overcoming that negative emotion, whatever emotion you're going through, it is so simple that you would dismiss it. But it's because it's so simple and so common sense that no one will do it. You know, common sense is not always common practice. But now you have to be open-minded enough, okay? Open-minded enough to listen to what I have to tell you, okay? And do the steps, do the 3 steps in order to overcome any negative emotion you have. And you have to practice it. Because if you don't practice it, then of course, you will never be able to overcome your negative emotions. So here are the 3 steps. Number 1, you let the emotion arise. Okay, whatever emotion that you want to deal with, just let it arise. If it's anger, think of that thing that makes you angry and let the emotion arise. Simple as that. Number 2, you accept it. You acknowledge it. So instead of fighting against it, like most people would try to do, instead of resisting the emotion, you let it be. You accept it, you acknowledge it, and you sit with it. Now that's the hard part. You have to be willing to let the emotion come up, okay? And you let it sit through you. And number 3, you let it go. That's it. That's it, right? You could end this video right here and start practicing. That's really it. Now, of course, it's easier said than done, but you have to practice it. You have to be willing to sit down with that emotion. You know, it's simple on paper, but have you actually done it? Right? That time when you broke up with your ex-girlfriend, whatever, did you let the emotion arise in you of sadness, grief, anger, frustration? Did you let those emotions go through you? Or did you try to escape as soon as possible by drinking with your friends and trying to go out and party? Right? Did you actually do this process? It's really hard. Did you actually let the emotion arise? Did you actually accept the fact that, for example, you broke up with your girlfriend, the fact that you're feeling shit right now and you're thinking of ending your life, whatever that is? Have you actually sat with that emotion? And did you actually work on letting it go? On releasing it? Did you actually do that? It's hard. Like, it is really hard. Really, when you're letting go, okay, that part number 2 of letting it go, you have to go through every single layer of emotion possible. So for example, if you're feeling grief, you're feeling sadness, apathy, well, what's at the root cause of that? Maybe you're apathetic because you're thinking, oh, well, there's no point to going out and socializing and talking to the opposite sex because anyways, what's the point, right? Anyways, I'm not going to be successful. That's your apathy. But behind that apathy, is there some sort of anger, maybe? Maybe you're angry at the opposite sex because all men are assholes. All women are bitches, whatever. All women are promiscuous. All women are going to cheat. Whatever belief you have, isn't there some anger behind that? And can you also let that go? Right. So first you let go of the apathy, the depression. Like, okay, you let the apathy, depression arise. You acknowledge it. Yeah, I feel like shit right now. And you sit with it for a few minutes. And then you let it go. Then after that, you move to the next emotion. Maybe it's just anger, as I told you. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's the fear that you'll never find a partner or you'll never be successful in your business. You acknowledge that emotion. You accept it. You let it go. And then after that, you move up the chain, and then maybe you feel anger now. You're like, you know what? Those fucking bitches, those fucking assholes, those guys who are just gonna cheat on me anyways because all they want is sex. Whatever that anger or frustration you have, acknowledge it. Let it go. And then see maybe if there's something beyond that anger. Maybe there's a desire that you have. Maybe you really want love in your life. You really want companionship in your life. Maybe you really want acceptance, validation, whatever it is in your life. Acknowledge that. And then let it go. And what will come after that will come the level of courage. After you're done letting it go, after you're done of letting go of the past emotions, you get to the point where you feel courage in your life. And this, with the courage, then you can really start growing yourself and moving towards the positive emotions. But first, you have to let go of all the negative ones. Just to give you an example as to how difficult that could be, this process, there's an example in the book of Letting Go by David Hawkins, where he says that at some point in his life, he lost a loved one, okay? And what he did for 11 days straight is he just sat down with the emotion and let go of every piece of grief, depression, sadness in his entire body. So what he did is that he would sit down, he felt like shit, he let the emotion arise of feeling really bad and depressed. He acknowledged it, he accepted it. He didn't wrestle against it, he didn't resist it, he let it be there, and then he let it go. Which is something you can do just by inhaling and exhaling. And you say, I let it go, whatever. Whether I'm feeling like shit right now, which is fine, I'll let it go. And he did that continuously for 11 days. He cried, maybe you have to cry for 11 days for that. Maybe you need to scream or whatever you need to do for 11 days. And after that, after the 11 days that he did that, it was completely gone. Every single ounce of his body was completely gone. But now you have to be willing and you have to be courageous enough to do something like that in your life when shit hits the fan. Okay, now let's go deeper into the technique of letting go and the problems that I think people might encounter while practicing this technique. So, first of all, the belief in psychiatry and even self-help is that thoughts creates emotions, which is why they have cognitive behavioral therapy, where they try to change your thoughts, reframe your thoughts so you feel better emotions. But in Hawkins' view, actually, he believes that emotions creates thoughts. And if you let go of the emotions surrounding the thoughts will subside. So for example, if you're having those thoughts that you hate that guy, you hate that person, like, oh, this guy, he's a piece of shit, he's just a scumbag, whatever, and you have those thoughts, instead of trying to reframe the thoughts, you feel the emotion. You get into your body, you acknowledge that emotion, and you let it go, okay? Then the thoughts will subside. So that's his view on things. I think you can both do CBT, right, cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever, reframing your negative thoughts, and also doing the letting go technique for a very powerful combo to develop your mind, but I think this is very something you have to practice, the emotional part too. Instead of fighting with your mind, fighting with the thoughts, you let go of the emotions surrounding it. So what if you can't let go? What if something so horrible happened to you? Maybe you got raped, maybe you got molested, maybe you got whatever happened to you, and you cannot let it go. Well, what Hawkins says is that when you say that you can't let it go, you're really saying that you won't let it go. And his view is that you can always let go of something, but the reason why you don't let go of it is because you don't want to. Because subconsciously, you believe that this negative emotion is serving you, right? For example, when you're feeling fear to get out of your house and actually socialize with people, that fear is actually, in a sense, serving you, not really serving you, but it's serving you as in keeping you safe, right? It's serving you as in keeping you safe and in your cocoon and safe at home. So that's why you don't want to let go of that emotion. Even though you think that you want to let go of it, truly you don't really want to. That's why you say you can't let it go. But when you say you can't let it go, you're really saying that you don't want to let it go. So what you can do in that sense is you look at the resistance to letting go and you look at, well, could I let go of my resistance to let go? So you don't want to let go of fear. Okay, you're afraid of getting out of your house, whatever, social anxiety, whatever. Okay, could I let go of my resistance to that emotion? Can I just allow myself to feel that emotion. Let go of letting go, right? Just whatever, fuck it. I'm just gonna feel that emotion now. Can I just do that? Okay, start with that. And once you're able to feel that emotion, you've acknowledged it, then try again to let go of it. After you've let go of the negatives, after you've let go of the blocks, the roadblocks that are stopping you from letting go, and now you've let go of the negative emotions, also, you have to let go of the positives too. Now, this is very paradoxical and a little bit advanced, but bear with me. So, for example, if you're feeling resentment over a person who maybe screwed you over in a business deal or whatever that is, okay? And then you feel anger, like, fuck that person, whatever, I hate this person, and now you work on letting go of that anger, that then you realize, you know what, maybe it wasn't in their power after all. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe I should forgive them because they were in a very difficult situation and they're struggling with XYZ as well. So, and it's only human to make mistakes. So, so then maybe you can forgive that person a little bit and let go of that anger. But there's maybe that one thing that's stopping you, which is after you let go of that negative emotion, usually a positive emotion will present itself. So for example, you let go of that anger towards that person, and then all of a sudden, feelings of gratitude or feelings of wanting to fix that relationship, feelings of wanting to make things better will arise. And maybe because you're still holding on to that anger a little bit and resentment, that you're not going to express that gratitude or love. So for example, maybe you let go of that anger of maybe because you're, one of your roommates didn't do the dishes, then you're angry at that person. And then you learn to forgive them. And then all of a sudden you want to say, thank you for all the things that you did in the past. And by the way, we should hang out more. By the way, we should spend more time together. By the way, I don't feel connected to you anymore. By the way, I feel like we're not that close. Maybe you want to say those things. Maybe show some appreciation to him. Maybe you want to say sorry. Maybe you want to say, you know what, listen, I was angry to you in the past and I'm really sorry about that. Maybe there's positives that you want to convey to that person, but you're blocking yourself to do it because you're still secretly holding on to that anger. But to fully let go of that anger, you have to let go of your resistance to the positives. Now, this is very counterintuitive. But you have to let the love happen. You have to let the positive communication happen. Let it flow through you, right? Then you have to be willing to let go, both the positives, both the negatives, and at the end, you'll be really unstoppable. And if you keep doing that, you'll become a very, very emotionally mature person. You'll be able to navigate through difficult emotions, and you'll see all the little different layers of each of the emotions, So behind anger, you will see the pain, you will see the sadness, you will see the fear behind it, you will see the desire behind it, you will see the loneliness behind it, you will see this creativity behind it, that maybe you want to express something, this need to express. You see all those different layers of emotions the more you work on acknowledging your emotions and letting go of your emotions, and never holding on to any particular emotions, because everything is transient. Nothing will stay. Emotions are like waves, energy that go through your body, and they will always come and go. And now, will you learn to go with the flow of things coming and going, or will you resist that flow of life? Because if you resist your emotions, you're really resisting life. Now the question, will letting go ever end? Will letting go of negative emotions ever end? Now, you probably guessed it, but it's never going to end. There are always going to be more emotions to let go of. But really, you can get better and better and better at it. And the point is not to be perfect with letting go and perfect with mastering emotions, because we all feel negative emotions. We all feel depressed. We all feel angry. But how long does it stay, and how much resistance is there to it? That's the question. And this you can master. And if emotions is something you struggle with right now, maybe you're in a period of transition in your life. Maybe you've just finished school, or maybe you are still at school, and you have no idea what you want to do with your life, and you have all this social pressure of other people, like, telling you to do this, telling you to do that, and you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, and there's so many negative emotions in you. You don't know what to follow. Maybe you have a desire for something, but you also have anger towards something, towards that person that's stopping you from achieving that desire, and it's all a goddamn mess. Then I can help you out. You can book a free consultation call with me by clicking on the link below. I'll put a link right there where you can book a one-on-one 30-minute consultation call where we'll really untangle that mess in your life. And after we untangle that mess, we'll know exactly what to do in order to move forward in your life. At the end of this, you'll be invited to join my 30-day coaching program. If you're not a good fit for it, that's totally fine. You'll still receive an amazing one-on-one consultation call that will tell you really exactly where you're at right now. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to book your free consultation call below and leave a comment below as well, as I try to reply to as many comments as I can. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.